Hello, I'm the CommanderZander. I remember it so that a standard critic doesn't have to. And neither should you. Hey kids, you want to go to space in a galaxy far away? And do you want to go and save the princess? And do you want to learn about the swords? No. You mean the Force. You know, Force. Wait, guacamole. Where the hell are you getting the swords at? That's not even in Star Wars. Oh, I'm not talking about Star Wars. What? What the hell are you fucking talking about, Commander Loser? Stop calling me that! I'm talking about Spaceballs! Spaceballs have been there! Oh my god, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my whole life! Save it, Willie, I'm doing this one. Okay, if you're looking for a knockoff of Star Wars, the closest thing you're gonna find is Spaceballs. Came out 4 years after the last of the original Star Wars trilogy. Spaceballs is a complete and absolute ripoff of the original Star Wars. Coincidentally, came out 10 years after the original came out. And you'll see why. It's a complete knockoff. It's a rebel with his hairy friend, let's just put it that way, trying to save the princess from the evil Empire. And it's got Mel Brooks. And Mel Brooks. And if all else fails, Mel Brooks. Because this has Mel Brooks' name written all over this one. So, if you're wanting to stick around, then you'll be amazed. If you're looking for a Star Wars review, there's plenty on the internet. So go there. Go. If you're not interested, just go. You waste my time. But for the rest of you who want to see me do this review, this is Spaceballs, the movie. And credit for the movie does go to Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, a.k.a. the Fancy Lion. And no, this is not for monetary purposes. This is strictly for review. As you see, even the intro rips off of Star Wars. But there's the movie itself, Spaceballs. The intro kind of has a Superman theme to it, by the way. And there it is. In the exact same graphics. And the exact same fucking intro as Star Wars. In a galaxy very, 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 very far away, there lived a ruthless race of beings known as Spaceballs. See, this is completely knocking off of Star Wars right off the bat. Chapter 11. Good lord. So, what happened to the first 10 chapters leading up to this particular chapter? Foolishly squandered their precious atmosphere. Yeah, in case you're wondering, they have to steal the frickin' air from a nearby planet, which happens to be Druidia. Yes, they actually insult the... Well, I'm not even gonna go there. Princess Vespa's wedding day. Oh yeah, she marries a prince who's like bored to death. Literally, he yawns.
He told me to let you know the moment planet Druidia was in sight, sir. So, planet Druidia's in sight, sir.
Wow, that's...
You're really a spaceball. You know that, don't you? Thanks, sir.
What, is it because he's wearing the fucking ball on his head and it looks like they're in space? No, of course not. Yeah, way to give orders. He's telling the commander...
Yes, sir, I took the liberty. He's on his way. Make way for Dark Helmet. All rise in the presence.
Yes, he's named Dark Helmet. You're gonna find out in a second why he's called Dark Helmet. Because like his predecessor, he wears a fucking helmet. By the way, I love the business tie look. For those who are familiar with Ghostbusters, I think you'll find this actor most recognizable. Oh, and this is what I mean by the Schwartz. That's right. Instead of a lightsaber, they use a ring that beams lasers. Again, they're trying to be as close to Star Wars without being actually Star Wars, so you get the picture. He's mad because he wasn't informed soon enough. See, he's thinking that Darth Vader, like, using the Force to strangle him. See, someone's been watching the Star Wars movie. Unfortunately, this is Spaceballs, so this is what happens to him as punishment. Now that's corporal punishment indeed. A laser right into the you-know-what. I like that punishment, by the way. It makes you prove your manliness. Or suffer a groin injury, either or.
Sir, I don't see
I love how he covers it. He doesn't want that punishment either.
But we have it on the radar screen. Shall I punch it up for you? Never mind, I'll do it myself.
Oh, by the way, they label everything. Mr. Coffee, Mr. Radar, yes, Mr. fucking
What's the matter
Radar.
with this thing? What's all that churning in public? You call that a radar screen? No, sir. We call it Mr. Coffee. Care for some?
Ripping off of the actual Mr. Coffee.
I always have coffee when I watch radar. You know that. Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir.
And everyone, of course, doesn't want to get their balls lasered out. I am appropriately saying it because of the movie being called Spaceballs. So there's
Right here.
Radar.
Switch to teleview. There it is. Planet Druidia.
Notice the little force field. I love the force field, by the way. Of course, Princess Vespa is running away from her wedding in a fancy automobile, might I add. That's his husband-to-be, but I can't blame her for bailing out. This is a Winnebago. Yes, it's an RV with fucking wings and it's flying in space. Get used to it. It's called the Eagle 5. Get it? Instead of the Millennium Falcon, Eagle 5? Yeah. Now, that could be disturbing in more ways than one. The bumper sticker on the back of the RV. This is Barf. Yes, not Chewbacca, but Barf. And you can see that he is a dog. Played by John Candy, the late John Candy. And his faithful companion is Lone Star. Instead of Han Solo, Lone Star, get it? Jesus Christ. What's with the corny puns? I love how he calls out Barf, by the way. It's like he's about to do just that. They're floating in space. There's Mel Brooks. He plays multiple characters in this movie, including the president of Spaceballs. He gets beamed when he hears about an important message. Only one problem. His head's in the wrong place. Literally.
What's happened to his head? It's on backwards.
Gee, you wonder why they're called Spaceballs. They gotta have some of those to cause some loopy crap in the system. How ironic, because normally you
Hold on, sir. We'll try to reverse the beam.
of course reverse the beam. So yeah, you're moving on.
And the creeps.
Oh yeah, the guy who does all the sound effects is in this movie too.
Sir, the radar, sir. It appears to be jammed.
Literally jammed, because Lone Star chucked that big fucking jar of jam at the satellite, causing the radar.
There's only one man who would dare give me the raspberry.
Are you sure it's just one man? There could be millions of people that could use the raspberry on you, Darth Helmet. Please don't hit my balls.
Lone Star.
Now, obviously, he lowers the helmet just to make this voice dark and menacing, although it's nowhere close to dark and menacing. And they are trying to suck the princess. But in comes the Eagle 5 to save their lives temporarily until they hit a desert.
Winnebago. Lone Star. Lone Star.
What makes you think it's Lone Star? Anybody else could have a Winnebago, for crying out loud. Why do you always pick on one guy? Oh yeah, in case you didn't figure it out, the princess's partner in crime is a C-3PO wannabe voiced by the late Joan Rivers. They get to a desert after they ditch
Sir, you better buckle up.
Dark Helmet and
Ludicrous speed. Go!
get it? Ludicrous speed instead of light speed? I mean, come on! If you're not getting this pattern, then you're clearly in the Stone Age. So there they go, off to ludicrous speed. Yeah, so there's light speed for you Star Wars fanatics, there's ridiculous speed, and then there's the infamous ludicrous speed. I'll tell you what you done. You caused down ludicrous speed beyond the orbit that causes you to go plaid. Literally. Watch. That would be plaid, folks.
What the hell was that?
That's ludicrous speed. That's what happened. So eventually they get stuck in a desert with a lot of sand dunes, because what else could you see in a desert but sand dunes?
Whoa, what have we got here? What are you looking at?
We got ourselves a feisty princess and her faithful robot companion. That's what we got, along with a dickhole rebel.
You are ugly when you're angry. That's it.
Oh, you're asking for an ass whooping.
Please, 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 please. Total humans, droids, if I may. It's going to be very dark soon, so I suggest we find a place to camp for the night.
Why do we want to do that? It's actually going to be nice and comfortable temperature-wise since you're in a desert planet. That's the perfect time to continue to search. Of course, when you have nothing but dude, you kind of don't know where the hell you're going. Oh, and guess how they're going to be searched out? By Spaceballs. You'll find this enjoyable. After a romantic lovey-dovey moment. Knocking off the, droid sellers to Luke Skywalker's family. Get it? Except they're helping out with,
Spaceballs, the t-shirt.
that guy. Yes, and he's played by, you guessed it, Mel Brooks. It's not Yoda. It's yogurt. I don't know why. They both have a Y. They're both tiny. Just roll with it. He, of course, is in the business of merchandising. By placing Spaceballs on everything, from cereal boxes to lunch boxes to comic books to t-shirts. And even a little toy that looks exactly like yogurt. And really? Because a flamethrower is not meant for kids. That's right, Schwartz, instead of Force. Get it? Again, you're in the Stone Age if you haven't figured this out by now. Meanwhile,
you at the proper time. Great. Come on, don't be
Spaceballs!
back to your Schwartz training. Here, take the ring.
Great, Schwartz trading. They comb the desert. They literally comb the desert and find the princess. The robot isn't... Uh-oh. The princess!
Where are you going?
Here's the voice of her daddy.
Come to me.
How should I put this delicately? Why don't we let a famous, fish explain what this kinda is? Admiral Akbar? Yeah. She's walking right into one. Let's just roll. It's actually Dark Helmet in disguise as the king, and they're off and running with the princess. Mamma mia! They're taking the princess! We need to get to the mushrooms!
Welcome. And here, just in case you get hungry.
A fortune cookie, which does play a pivotal role later on in the movie, but we will get to that.
All right, give it to me.
They forced the combination out of the king, but first...
Oh, you too. Now, Princess Vespa.
This is probably what most men do in their fantasy lives.
I hate you, leave me alone. Yes, I find this strangely...
Yes, he is actually having a moment, if you will, with the toys. Poor, sad, strange little man.
Kiss me. No, yes, no.
Because he knows this will never happen to him in real life. Of course he's interrupted, and that brings up one of the funnier moments of this movie.
So big. Lord help me, what? You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door. Knock next Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good.
See? Because this is typically what happens when a guy gets caught in the middle of doing something important. I won't go into further detail than that, but you get the idea. So out goes the Winnebago to try and save the princess as they get into the Spaceball. Which, yes, looks like the Death Star. Except a little bit more futuristic with a lot of, you guessed it, balls. Prison balls. Okay, why do you need the 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Sunday? Just say no parking, period, goddammit. Why do you need the 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. and the Monday through Sunday? We get it. You can't park here, period. Oh, and these are what the stormtrooper wannabes look like. Watch the princess kick some ass. She's not your average princess! Book her for eHarmony.com. I'm sure guys would love to be with this ass-kicking princess.
Not bad. Dim the lights. Dimming the lights.
Why do we need to dim the fucking lights? Oh, to make it more dramatic?
Which is what you are about to.
Leading to our climactic battle between Lone Star and his... Well, I'm gonna let Darth Helmet explain. As he's about to hit the self-destruct button.
Helmet. So, at last we meet for the first time for the last time.
Yes, that makes sense.
Before you die, there is something you should know about us, Lone Star.
What?
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
Yeah, no one's gonna pinpoint this either. They're just trying to make this scene have to rip on the I am your father scene from The Empire Strikes Back. Because again, we're knocking off of Star Wars. This leads to the infamous Battle of the Swords. And again, if you don't get the reference, then you're in the fucking Stone Age. You see? Notice the balls, and notice the fact that they're Schwartz rings and the lasers, and they're coming out from right in that little area. Yeah, that's supposed to be like the form of a... You will probably figure that out. And then they go at it, like a lightsaber duel. Which, of course, ends in... Because you can't have a dramatic scene of him flying through the station and shooting lasers at the hole. No, there's a self-destruct button.
Where the hell are we? Paris?
No, you know we're close to Paris because that's on the planet Earth, and you're miles away from the planet Earth.
You gotta stop it.
By the way, the ship turns into a maid, literally. It almost looks like the Statue of Liberty, for God's sakes. So everyone has to get into their escape pods. All the escape pods have been taken, and thus our three main villains are blown to smithereens on the Maid, except they managed to survive laying on a distant planet that rips on a familiar, well, let's just say it's a Planet of the Apes reference. They then go to a diner and get their space bucks. And realize that, hey, there's another parody.
What did he order?
Oh, he had a special.
Of course he had the special.
Change my order to the soup. Oh, wait a minute. Yogurt gave me that fortune cookie.
Which tells him to go marry the princess because technically he can marry the princess. He's filled with royalty. So of course he goes back, and before she marries Prince Snores a lot, the two get married, they live happily ever after, and that's basically the movie right there. So that's Spaceballs. Obviously ripping off of Star Wars, but I think it's worth your time if you're looking for a laugh or two. Otherwise, if you don't like the fact that it's ripping on Star Wars, then you're probably ignoring this movie. But I, for one, find it a decent watch and a laughable moment. Or two or three. If you're looking for something that's close to Star Wars, but isn't really the actual thing, this is as close as you're going to get. So, if you're looking for a laugh or two, check this out. I'm the CommanderZander. I remember it's something to stand to and neither should you.